Good evening, everybody. All thanks goes to Deepa ma'am for this skillful opportunity. Hi, I'm Afreen Firdous, Bachelor of Arts, second year, Psychology, Sociology and Literature English, GFGC Alahanka College. Today, my seminar topic is Strategic Planning and Management of Social Service Organization. Overview of my topics is Introduction to Social Service Organization, Strategic Planning, Management, Monitoring, Evaluation, Vision, and Mission. So, to accelerate the learning process in social service organization, let us first look into what is social service organization. An SSO, social service organization, is an organization that works to improve the well being of individuals, groups, or communities, especially those who are vulnerable and disadvantaged. These organizations focus on social welfare, human rights, community development, health, education, and empowerment. Now, let me quickly share some of the example of a social service organization so that we could understand the various fields and ideas. The first example will be educational field, which teach for all, provide quality education to underprivileged children, and mission in this particular field of SSO could be literacy, equal learning opportunities. If we speak about health field, examples could be Doctors Without Borders. Ideas of SSO will be medical aid in crisis and conflict areas. Mission will be focused on emergency healthcare diseases control. The third best example will be women empowerment. Idea of an SSO will be gender equality and women's right. And mission will be focused on education, safety, and economic independence. All right. Now we all know about social service organization. It's time to understand their management. Management of social service organization involves planning, organizing, directing, controlling resources to achieve social goals effectively. Key areas of social service organization in management. 1. Human resources management like staff and volunteers. 2. Financial management, which holds budgeting, fundraising, and audits. Program managements like designing and implementing services. And also leadership and governance like board, politics, policies, and ethics. Example will be an NGO working in rural education. It recruits trained teacher, raises funds through donors and grants, runs after school learning centers like programs, and ensure transparency through a governing board like governance. Now let us learn about the strategic planning of an social service organization. Strategic planning is the process by which social service organization decides what it wants to achieve, how it will achieve it, and how it will use resources effectively. If to speak about key elements of strategic planning in a social service organization, number one, needs assessment, like identifying social problems in the community. Number two, setting goals and objective, short term and long term targets. Resource planning, like funding, staff, volunteer, and partnership. Implementation strategies like programs, projects, and activities. At last, monitoring and evaluation, measuring impact and improving services. Strategic planning ensure the organization stay focused, stable, and impactful. Now, let us look into how does social service organization improve its mission. And social service organization improve its mission by designing programs aligned with community needs, building partnership with government and private sector, training staff and volunteers, using data and feedbacks to improve service, ensuring transparency and accountability. By these, it helps the organization deliver service more effectively and ethically, directly supporting its mission. If to speak about the vision of a social service organization, the vision of a social service organization describes the ideal future society it wants to help and create. Let us understand the vision of social service organization with a very small example. Example of social service organization visions could be a society free from poverty and inequality, empowered communities living with dignity and justice, equal access to education and healthcare for all. These are the very small examples from which we can understand how visions are made in social service organization. The vision is long term and inspirational, guiding all activities and decisions. All right, it's time for a bright topics, dear friends. It is monitoring and evaluation in social service organization. What is monitoring? Monitoring is a continuous process of tracking activities to ensure programs are running as planned. Let us know what could be the purpose of monitoring. The purpose will be checking progress regularly, identifying problems early, improving efficiency and accountability. So, what could be the tools? Tools could be monthly progress reports, attendance records, field visits, and performance indicator. Let me help you understand with a very small example. Example is a nutrition program for children monitors number of children enrolled, weight and height measured every month, attendance at field center. If attendance drop, manager can act immediately. So as I said you about the example, how step by step the monitoring is happening in children's nutrition program, in the same way the monitoring will happen in social service organization to maintain their records, to identify their problem, to check whether everything is running smoothly, and make their vision and missions clear and achieve their goal. Evaluation. It's a very long word, but let me explain you it with a very simple way. Evaluation in social service organization is a periodic assessment of program to measure its effectiveness, impact and outcomes. So here there are three types of evaluation. Type 1 formative, type 2 summative and type 3 impact evaluation. Let me quickly share you what are these three types of evaluation. Formative evaluation is an evaluation that works during the program. Summative evaluation is an evaluation which works after the program. And impact evaluation is an evaluation which is a long-term effect and which also runs for a long time. Okay, here we learned about types. Let us learn about purpose. What is the purpose of evaluation in social service organization? Here the purpose could be measure success and impact, learning what works and what doesn't, guides future planning and ensure donor accountability. Let me explain it with a very simple example of an adult literacy program. Before program, literacy rate was 40%. After program, literacy rate was completely about 70%. Evaluation shows improved employment opportunities. This confirms the program's effectiveness. Conclusion. So yes, today we studied about management, organization, strategic planning, goal, monitoring, vision, mission, evaluation, which measures income and increase self-reliance. Let us complete with a small example. To conclude it, I'll take an example of women's skill development in social service organization. In women's skill development, management could be like organizing trainers, funds and centers. Strategic planning will be to empower 1,000 women in 3 years. Monitoring will take place, as I said, like tracking attendance, job placement and skill tests. Last but not the least, evaluations, which measures income and increase self-reliance. Together, they ensure effectiveness, accountability, and sustainability. Thank you for your precious time, dear friends and dear mentor. Once again, thank you so much, Deepa ma'am, for this skillful opportunity. Have a good evening.